Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. This is a home edition, and not just any home edition. We're here to, for those of you who have been following on our journey for buying a new home, we are one step closer to being done. As of today, which is August the 30th, we've accepted an offer on our house, accepted an offer on my mother's house, and the offer we made on our new home was accepted. So for those of you who've been following along, wondering which one of the three we were going to go with, because there's been three options with three undisclosed locations around Tucson. Out of the three, we decided to go with number 3. So a lot of you said you liked the third one, and we ended up liking it too. But we thought we'd have a little video with Dana. Hi.
Hi.
And we're going to talk about the pros and cons of our decision. And it's not going to be a terribly long one because we now have a lot to do and we only have a month and a half to do it. Actually, probably a little bit less than a month and a half because we're going to be gone for a week because as responsible adults making life-changing decisions, we're going to go to Disneyland in the middle of it.
In all fairness, we booked that way before.
This is true, and responsible adults would usually say, you know what, we'll reschedule.
Nope.
We need the time. So let's talk about, we picked number 3. Number 3 is on the opposite side of town from where we currently live. I will say the other two we looked at, on paper and in reality, I think were complete better options for us for what we wanted. But this one made the most sense both economically, for what we need. Well, here, let me ask you this before we dive into the details. How do you feel about the house that we ended up deciding?
I like it.
What's your favorite part?
I'm closer to my family.
And I know that's a big deal for you, and it should be a big deal. Something since we've been together I've been encouraging, and you want to do as well, and being closer to your family. I'm glad we're living close to your family, especially your grandma and your nana and your parents as well, and your sisters. Because we want our kids to be near their cousins, and they're all around the same age and play and have a good time, so that is a huge pro.
Yeah.
What's your con?
We're close to my family.
I think that's true. Yeah, we're close to your family. We're going to be even closer to my family. They're going to be living with us. Because as you guys know from following, we did this too because my mother and my aunt's health, they're getting older. And they're a vital part of our lives. Mm-hmm. And we're at that point where they spent a long time taking care of us. And by us, I mean helping out the kids and me in particular. It's kind of our turn to help take care of them. For me, the pros and cons are I think we're getting a lot of house for what I think is not a bad price in today's market. We did pretty well considering on both the houses ourselves, and that's just pretty much going towards a new house, which is fine.
Right.
The cons are we're going to be living in a part of Tucson I swore and never thought I would live in.
That too, yeah.
It is like an up-and-coming area, which is nice, and it is way closer to both of our works. And like you said, the best part is it's closer to your family. It's just, it's something I'm definitely going to have to get used to.
Yeah.
But if you saw the video, it's a nice home. And the big selling point to me and the big pro is, since my mother is not really able to go up and down stairs, we've been specifically looking for a place that had a downstairs regular bedroom.
And
bathroom. I mean, at most every two-story place has a downstairs
a lot of the
bathroom.
two-story houses, if they had a bedroom downstairs,
Usually it's like a powder
it was a
room.
powder room.
That's
it wasn't a
fair.
full bathroom.
But this one not only had a regular bedroom downstairs, it had a full bathroom downstairs, and it also had a nice master suite upstairs, and we're getting really nice add-ons as well.
Yes.
So, and I think it's a good thing. This house really did fit that need. The other one we looked at, and I believe was house number 1 that we looked at, was what's called a next-gen home, which basically had like an apartment built onto the house. Which for me was the ideal situation. We had separate living spaces at that time, but you're also paying a premium. Was it worth the extra $50,000 to $60,000 additional dollars for us in this case?
I don't think so.
Especially with the size of the yards that it came with and everything else. So I do think we made the right decision. The second house we looked at, number 2, I liked, but I can't remember. It was just one of those I wasn't a huge fan, and that's just it. I have to go back. You guys are watching probably a clip right now. I don't remember a lot about it other than it basically came down to house number 1, house number 3, and we went with number 3. That was my impression of doing number 1, make it so. Okay. But yeah, I think this is a huge step for us now. In the midst of the next month and a half, we have to get this house packed. My mother's house specifically, we have to get packed first because she's closing before we are. And they're going to live it with us for that 2 to 3 weeks while we get into the new house. So the nice part of there, because And remember, our current house isn't small. It's about 1,700 square feet. About 1,700 square feet for 4 adults and two children, 6 and 3, is not a lot of space. And that, to me, the only other con with our new house is there really isn't separation other than you take into account we'll be upstairs and they'll be mostly downstairs. But my aunt will most likely have the bedroom upstairs as well.
Right.
So it's going to be an adjustment, but an adjustment well worth it. And I'm going to be an almost 40-year-old man living with his mommy again. But you know what? I survived the first 18 years, and I'm sure I can survive the next, couple of years. Oh, God. Well, if everything goes to plan. She has to drive her car sometime. Those brake lines just might not. No, I'm kidding. She knows I'm kidding, people. I'm not crazy. Plus, that'd be premeditated, and that makes me are you excited for this new chapter? Because it really is. Like, you and I bought our first home together back in 2014. And ironically, we sold that to my mother, so it's still been in the family since then. I'm kind of double dipping with that sale, which is kind of nice. But, I think since we've been together, we've reached new heights, especially adulting, that I didn't know if I would ever do myself. What's been your favorite part about the home buying process and your least favorite part?
Least favorite part is packing. I don't like packing at all.
Well, we both know who does most of the packing. But I'm also anal retentive. I have 2 separate storage things that say Blu-rays A through J, Blu-rays Z through Z, and they're still...
You'll repack it. So there's no point in me packing it if you're just going to repack it.
You married a collector. The big part of collecting is we make sure things are in proper order and sequence.
So that bin of books that really kills you, huh? Because I just dumped them in.
Not really, because there are kids' books, which it doesn't matter which ones you pack or what order they're in. We're just still going to read the same book over and over again, which is either the big book of trucks or construction vehicles, or what's the
Chicka Boom
Chicka
Boom.
Chicka Boom Boom, like Charlie's 3, and that's still his favorite thing. And he's at that point where he's like, "Read it to me." You're like, "No, you read it to me." "I can't." And you start reading. He's mouthing it. Nice thing is our 6-year-old's at a point where he can read it to the 3-year-old.
Yeah.
My only other thing, and this is me thinking outside, is the house part is great. I've said it before, I wish I could pick up the house and put it right here where we're currently at. But the thing that concerns me is Henry has really taken a shine to his school. And we're going to basically have to uproot him and move him to a new school mid-school year. Yeah. Basically, he's going to be there right before their winter break, essentially.
No.
Well, you know what I mean, fall, but...
Should be the first or second week of fall, their second quarter. I've already looked.
Okay, but I just feel like we started him here, and he knows that's his school, he knows where to, he knows the layout, it's his...
No, I know.
So, it's just, at 6, it's the right age to do it, but I also wonder how because this is going to be one of those, seminal moments in his youth, and how is he going to react? Charlie, I know he's going to be fine. He's like, there's stairs. That's all he cares about, is that there's stairs.
And is Nana Tata coming to live with us?
Yeah, so, to my in-laws, if you're watching right now, Charlie's number one question every time, he goes, Grandma and Gayla are going to come live with us? My mom and my aunt. Yes, they are. Nana and Tata too? No, they're going to stay at their house. Why? Because they have their own house. They live with us. So, I guess if y'all want to come, you can bunk up with Charlie.
It'll be squishy.
But I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely a new chapter in our lives. And it's going to be weird. We've only been here for about 4 years. Actually, 4 years this month.
Yeah.
And we were at our previous house for 5 years?
Thereabouts, I think.
Because, we moved here in 2019, so 5 years. It's that next chapter, and this is kind of probably going to be our forever home. Unless it gets to be really valuable that I'm selling it. I don't know what y'all are doing. But guys, thanks for following us along this journey. It's been really interesting, and I don't know, it's been very stressful, especially the juggling of selling 2 homes and trying to purchase a new home, and working full time, kids back in school.
Sickness.
We've been sick as dogs the last few weeks, and I'm finally over it. Charlie had an episode last night. Henry was sick too. She's catching a little bit of the bug. It's been trying, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. it goes back because like I kind of work in corporate America to a certain extent, and we always talk about being proactive and being reactionary. It's better to be proactive than reactionary. Luckily, I cut my teeth being reactionary at the place we used to work at together years ago. So a lot of this has been reaction, but it's been working out in our favor. And we actually took an unconventional route to the selling of our homes. Instead of going like the traditional route, because we are kind of in a time crunch for what we want to do,
Right.
we actually end up going through a company called Open Door. Open Door has been interesting. I would say the pros and cons are they make the sell portion, and like we had someone come and assess our house today, and we're like trying to get everything clean, trying to get everything ready, like get the best value. The dude was here for
6 minutes,
6 minutes.
if that.
He's like, done. We're like, really? Because our agent was coming over to make sure he was here for the walk, and he's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, I guess I'll call him to let him know.
Right.
And we got our final offer less than 4 or 5 hours later.
Yeah.
So they make it really easy, and it's great. The con to them is
The fees.
the fees are ridiculous, but you have to look at the trade-off.
No
We don't have to do
open
any.
houses.
We don't have to do any of the repairs ahead of time. They take that into account. Although I do think they overcharge you for what they consider the repairs to be, but whatever. But even like their finder's fee and everything, like roughly speaking, it was almost 10%. Like the fees add up to about 10% of what the total offer was, because the offer they gave us, I think, was fair market value for our neighborhood and the comps and everything else. But when it was all said and done with the fees, the higher closing costs, and their like percentage as a whatever, it was pretty substantial. But we don't have to keep it on the market for months at a time to see if anyone's interested. We don't have to go through and do all these repairs and be out of pocket for them in the meantime, and hopefully we recoup in the sale. So to me, it all makes sense, and by the time it all happens, we'll be good. The best part about all this, and what we're going to leave you guys with, is the first round of the money from our sale will be here right before we go to Disneyland Oogie Boogie Bash. Oh, y'all. Disney adults with... I'm buying 3 churros. But look... Check back with us and make sure you hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because we are going to go to Disneyland and Oogie Boogie Bash here in about a month and a half. And we're also talking about a trip to the Pacific Northwest, which we'll talk more about here off camera, because the time we were going to go, a lot of other people I work with are going to be gone at that same time, which leaves me in the predicament of, okay, well, we all can't be gone at the same time, but since we kind of play the same role within the company, or within our area. But I think I figured out a way to make it work.
Okay.
We just have to make sure it works for us. And that'll be interesting, because we're going up to see my father, because he's not doing too well health-wise either. But we're also going up there because you guys have never seen the Pacific Northwest, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Except for certain parts that are scary, but we'll avoid those. So thanks for taking another ride with us. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so far. Words, it's late. I'm tired. We've been up since like 5 a.m. That's Dana. I married her. We have kids. Thank you for that. And check us out again. Bye-bye, everybody. We bought a house.
Yeah.
And now we're going to move to it. Ooh.